Hello, everybody. Let us begin. So this is sort of a continuation from last time where we did systems of equations. This time we'll be doing systems of equations again, but instead of just having the equation written out for us, we have to make them this time, and we're doing just linear equations for now. So let's start. So in the first question, John listens to the same 5-minute song after listening to an 8-minute intro song. Henry listens to the same 6-minute song after listening to a 3-minute intro song. What's the minimum number of songs Henry must listen to for them to listen for the same length of time? Okay, so anytime you see something like same length of time and minimum number, right? It's almost setting up LCM, right? Least common multiple. So let's make an equation for John. So he starts with 8 minutes, and then after that, he said this is the same song. We'll call that 5x. And then let's do it for Henry, right? He starts with a 3-minute and then does a 6-minute song at the same time. And then we're setting them equal to each other because we want to see when the length of time is equal, right? And then from here, it's just simple solving. We're going to subtract 5x, and then we're going to get 8 equals 3 minus, or plus, sorry, x. And then we're going to subtract 3, and we're going to get x equals 5. So x equals 5. This question, again, does not have answer choices. It'd be a fill in the blank one, right? Let's imagine this is a little box to fill it in. So you might want to put in 5 here, but that would be not correct because that's not counting the original song, which was 8 minutes here and 3 minutes there, right? So x is just a 5. So we have to do 5 plus the 1. So we're going to get 6. So it'll be 6 songs for each of them. And Henry and John are the same, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that would be our process here. We set up an equation for each of them, set them equal to each other, and then solve. And then the trick, right? So that SAT has a lot of tricks, is that we have to remember to count the first songs and get to 6. Okay, great. So now let's try this one here. This one has answer choices, and we'll go over how they might help us or hurt us in a minute. So after one 44-minute drama, Parvati watches 26-minute infomercials. I don't know why Parvati does that, but we'll let her live her life. Edmund only watches 30-minute nature documentaries. Okay. They both start watching at 6 p.m. When will be the next time they start an episode at the same time? Okay, so if we go back, right, it's the same type of question. How much time until they're repeating each other? So for now, let's forget the 6 p.m. We'll add that on at the end to find the times. And let's look at the answer choices. We have 9 p.m., 12 a.m., 11:30, and 8:02, right? So why did I start with B? Because if it's starting at 6 p.m. and admin is going every 30 minutes, it has to be a multiple of a 30-minute thing. So 8:02 just is the odd man out. And that's just, take that out. Maybe there's some weird thing and that's the answer, but it's highly unlikely. So now let's set it up. We'll do admin first. It's nice and easy. 30x equals Parvati's a little more complicated. So 26-minute infomercials on repeat. Okay. I hope they're good infomercials. Plus a 44-minute starter. Okay. And then let's see what happens when we subtract 26x, subtract 26x. We'll get 4x equals 44. So x equals 11, which is not any of the answer choices here, although we have an 11:30 p.m. and a 12 a.m., which are kind of close, but 11 isn't the time, remember, it's the number of episodes. So what about if we plug that in for We could do either one, but I like Raymond or Edmonds because it's 30x. So it'll be 30 times 11, and we'll get 330 minutes. Okay, still not what we want, but 330 minutes. Let's divide that by 60 to find how many hours. It'll be 5.5 hours. And then let's add that on to the 6 p.m. and we'll get 11:30. Kind of late. I usually like to go to bed by 11, but you know, they're having a nice time watching their documentaries and infomercials. Okay, last one. This is a little different from what we've been doing, but it's really the same thing in different clothes. You know, train A leaves Denver, heading west at 120 miles per hour at 2 p.m. Train B leaves Denver, heading west at 3 p.m., going 100 miles per hour. At 4 p.m., how far apart will the two trains be? Okay, great. I love this type of question. So we'll do, let's take in the numbers, right? There's 120 miles per hour, 2 p.m., and direction, heading west. Heading west. So they're going in opposite directions. We'd have to add the miles per hour or something like that, but they're going in the same direction. So we'll be subtracting eventually. And it's 4 p.m. So they're going to be 2 hours for train A, right? And then, so let's do 2 times 120 miles per hour. So it's going to be equals 240 miles. Okay, that's a pretty good time. And then train B heads west at 3 p.m. So they only have 1 hour going 100 miles per hour. So it's going to be 1 times 100. And that equals 100, right? And then how far apart they are, since they start at the same place, we'll subtract and we'll get 140 miles. And I know that this is probably a little easier than a lot of the SAT questions, but there are easy SAT questions on the test. And this is a good practice to build up to what we'll do in the future where directions might be more different and times might be a little trickier. But for now, just take this in, right? You do 2 times 120 to get the 240 miles, and 1 times 100 to get the 100 miles. And then you can think about it graphically, right? If this is Denver, this person's going that way, and then the other person's going, well, also that way, but I don't want to draw that one like that. Is also going that way, but not as far. And then you have to subtract. If they were going in opposite directions, right? Let's say this is heading east and this person was heading west, right? Then you would add, but we're subtracting. And those are just, simple systems of equations that you might find. The big part on this and on a lot of SAT questions, easy and hard, is just absorbing the important numbers and not letting yourself get distracted by anything that might not be important, like drama doesn't really matter, infomercial doesn't really matter, nature documentaries, right? Those things don't matter, but the time, that matters. So great. I hope you find this all helpful. And if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, always leave comments asking anything you'd like to cover in the future, or any questions you have on this material. And we'll keep going with this all in the future.